the summer. We did have icebreakers. We had 3 of them last year with our first year students. Super students, yummy, and favorite places. And then I had a help desk, and this was a sample of something that someone put on the help desk. That was her question, asking people, if you got an A on that identification part of the last quiz, what do you think helped you do it? And people answered her, which was nice. But I did also have assigned discussions, and these were a couple of them, and one was about the wiki, and that was because they hated it. So I put it up there then as a discussion and said, you know, I wanted you to do it and you didn't like it, so tell me what other way that could have worked and give me reasons for it. And of our 17 students, we had 113 posts, so obviously they had a lot to say. And then the one underneath was just a hypothetical one where I had given them a problem of, you know, where they had to just kind of answer that question of using a SWOT analysis, what they thought of the idea of getting a dual degree in OT and PT. And as far as the grading rubric, I wasn't 100% sold on the Tiger rubric as it stood, so kind of worked on my own, but I also believed in the title, so you can see down here under creativity, the title, that did count, that was half a point, and this is kind of condensed, but this was the points they could get up to 5 points on their original posting, and they had to do 2 reply postings, and then the mechanics were scored on all the postings. So I was able to do that. And then sharing it with the faculty in my department. So first I did an in-service on the gold course. They wanted to know what it was like. Then we had a brown bag lunch where they actually asked me to present on grading rubrics. So I presented several and then came up with that one that I shared with everybody. And I'm talking to my department chair about creating a wiki page for our department so that we can keep posting photos and news and have it be an external wiki page so our alumni can check in on everything too. And I have helped other faculty learn to use wiki because we use it for signing up for assignments. So when you've got a list of things to sign up, they can just do it through the wiki and everybody's not running to get to that piece of paper and you know, do all that. And the last thing is really, I think it's the last thing, lessons learned from students. And one of the discussion boards I had given them was, what qualities do you think we should look for in our student applicants, and do you think there should be more or less emphasis on grades and GREs, and what personality characteristics do you think a successful applicant should possess? And we actually have a 40-page document of all their suggestions, and we are looking at that now because we're looking at our application process, and they came up with some really, really interesting ideas that I just thought were wonderful. Like, for example, the 40 hours of observation, they said you should make them do that in at least 2 different sites. So they see at least 2 different aspects of OT instead of just going to one site and seeing one thing. So those were great ideas. So I think that, you know, not only am I helping my students, but we are learning from them. So as far as where do I go from here, I still have a lot to learn. And I know that I need to learn with the students because one of their big things about the wiki was not everybody knew what to do. So like this morning we had a library training with my first year students, so we all went over wiki together. I had to learn not to be upset about admitting when it didn't work because it was a dismal failure on that one project. And I did listen to the students, and I think because I did, they were then more willing to use it for other things and to go along with the other things because they realized they weren't being forced to do something they didn't feel competent in. And then, you know, sharing my successes with my department and with you guys. Thank you.
Oh, wow, exciting. Yeah.
It's great.
Is that fast enough?
Oh, would you put your title page back up there, Brenda?
My title?
Please.
I gotta run off to a meeting. Thank you all. It's good to hear what you did.
Brenda, thank you so very much. Questions for Brenda on her?